everyone, happy 2025. I hope I had a fantastic New Year's, Christmas, or whatever you celebrate, if you even celebrate at all. Even if you didn't celebrate, hope you had a fantastic time. Now, how about we get into what I have in store for this year for this channel? Let's start off with some basic quality of life stuff. For me, I have let my apartment fall apart. Some of it has nothing to do with me. My ceilings, for example, are not my responsibility, and that is something that I am constantly aware of every time I wake up, and I wonder if the stains have gotten any worse. But beyond that, there are things that are my responsibility. I need a new mattress, for starters. I'll be losing weight, so I want to get a new wardrobe. I've already got my first thing over there ready to go. I'm saying these things out loud, so I basically guilt myself into not falling off the wagon. I have to go and get this computer fully upgraded, a third screen. The camera's fine, but the lighting is awful. The audio is, as some of you have been pointing out elsewhere, dog shit. It should be. I'm using an Amazon Basic microphone. The little tiny finger ones. I've been using that for years. I need a new chair. Getting one of them this week, so fingers crossed it's a solid one to help my terribly bad back. I can't really do long streams with you guys if I'm, Also, new desk. Need that down the line. I also, there'll be other things. So, you'll be seeing some of them in the near future. Not to mention all the games I have planned. And I just dropped that. Number 2. Schedule. I sometimes put a schedule up, and sometimes I even follow it, but it's few and far between. I'm usually off by an hour, 2 hours, a week. If it wasn't for the podcast, even then I've not always been great. I probably would never follow it to the T. No one really cares, but I would like to. I would like to actually have a schedule that works. To that end, the average you're going to see this year on the stream, on this channel, is when it comes to gaming, you will see the first, unless it's a special thing, like someone, say, is making a game and wants me to play it on the channel for a bit of a boost, something like that. Other than that, I'll play the first level, first episode, first quest, first mission, whatever, of a game when we start it for the first time here, and then we will move on over to Twitch. And you all know I've got Twitch. It's in the description. Ads suck. If you really want, maybe go and subscribe. If enough people subscribe to me, I'm bound to feel so guilty I have to give you something special. I used to do that. Maybe I will this year. Other than that, VPN. I won't hold it against you. But that'll be where all the rest of the gaming is. The podcast is still the same. And if anyone wants to chat about anything, something comes up, well, we'll get to that. But mostly I'm bringing this up here because of the timing. Most of you guys are Americans who are watching this. And you have a very, awkward timetable for me a lot of times. You wouldn't know it, but in attempts to keep up with even just East Coast, let alone West Coast, my Irish ass has had to forgo many hours sleep. Before anyone gets feeling pangs of guilt, it's entirely my doing. But I would like to sleep at a reasonable hour, say 12 or 1 at night. And to do that, I'm going to have to, with the exception of special occasions like 24-hour streams or something like that, probably will be calling it a night around about midnight. Or near around to it, you know. Now, if that causes you guys problems, I mean, they'll be uploaded afterwards. And it might also give an opportunity for people who aren't on all the time to catch me at a different hour. Or people on my side of the Atlantic. I don't have that many European fans because I'm never really streaming for European fans. Or people in the Middle East or Asia or Africa or anywhere. It just always seems to be Americans. So, yeah. That's going to be my plan going forward. I'll be probably streaming around about 6 or 7. The podcast is different, special occasions, whatever. Travel videos, quite rare for me. You will probably not get much in the way of a travel video this year. If something comes up, if someone's like, hey, Lev, why don't we go off and do A, B, C, or D? Bring your camera, you can make it for that YouTube channel of yours. And I'm like, opportunity. But other than that, not really. I'll try to do a live stream out here and there when I'm out and about, but again, how likely that's going to be, it's really situational. There isn't any big trips. Now, I do have a plan in my head for 2026, but I'm not saying anything on that yet. In the meantime, I'm focusing more here, on the apartment, on myself, on the computer, on a lot of things. So, yeah. By the end of the year, I will be gagging to get on a plane. So, don't worry. I'm edging myself for adventure. Alcohol. I have a complicated history with drink. I tend to rely on it too much, but no one has ever outright accused me of being a drunk. Except for myself, oddly enough. And most people then just laugh and roll their eyes and go, actually you're not, because you spend weeks, months, without having a drop, and it's just mild grumbling. Mostly I do it because I'm bored. Sometimes stress gets the better of me, but you know what? Drinking in the past 2 years or so has nowhere near been as fun, or as required for me to walk out the door. As someone on the spectrum, I'm a little bit scared of going out the door, interacting with people. But it's not required. Never has been. And I'm now thinking, why don't I put that to the test? I've done last year 1 or 2 months just sober. And this Christmas, I didn't even have a drop. I had a drop Christmas Eve. Next time it was New Year's. So, why not on my birthday in a few days' time? I still don't have a clue what that is. If the opportunity comes up, go and have a drink. And then, nothing all for February. Again, 2 things. If an opportunity comes up, say I go on a date for, I don't know, Valentine's Day. Maybe I'll, maybe we'll you know, have some wine or something. But no. Nothing in February, all the way up to March. Now, March is Paddy's Day. After Paddy's Day, I'm making no plans. But that's because I'm wondering how many more months could I get sober. Another 2 months after that, have myself a nice cocktail out on a beautiful sunny day, the only summer day of the year. Go someplace, do something. Be a nice treat. How does this affect Wasted Wednesday? Well, it kind of kills Wasted Wednesday, doesn't it? There's no way around it. Wasted Wednesday is kind of going to take a way of a backseat. And I found that, like, my enjoyment of drink is really situational now. Company, for starters. I want to get drunk with somebody. And I want them to be having a good time too. And I want to be, if I'm sitting here watching something with someone else, I want them to be enjoying the topic as well. I like the older 3 drinks minimums that I used to have, where we would like watch random stuff. I remember one time with, I'm not going to get into a tangent. I should really make that as a promise for this year. Fewer tangents, but I wouldn't be me if I didn't tangent it up. We call it bearded ramblings for a reason. Speaking of. Anyway, I'm not going to beat myself up if I have a drink either. But I am not going to turn it into a habit. I'll just the next day be like, right, well that was stupid of me, or, okay, I guess I needed it. And let's get right back to it. I'm doing this also because it costs a fortune. Oh my god, even just cans from a store cost like way more than they used to. And like I said, I'm trying to lose weight. Beer, really not a good idea. Also, I'm really getting into coffee these days, so, you know. I'm not giving up drink, but this year is going to be the driest year of my entire adult life, as far as I'm aware. At least that's the plan. Like I said, I'm saying it here now, so kind of twisting my arm. I don't got a choice. And we'll see how I feel at the end of the year. Wish me luck on that most of all. Especially in this country where everything costs a fortune. I really do notice when I have a sober week. Oh my god. And with a diet too, which is super cheap food, well, that opens up lots of opportunities. But now we move on to drama and lolcows, which I conflate the two. I also I did a previous draft of this where I also included politics, but no, politics is still very important. Dumb but important, if you will. And over the next 4 years, it's going to be very interesting to see how politics plays out in America. At the time of this recording, what's going on in the Middle East is still pretty heavy. Assad's just been outed, and of course then there's all that stuff in Ukraine. So it'd be a bit crazy not to keep my eyes peeled. Because I wear who I am politically on my sleeve. I'm a lefty. I like to see myself as a bit of a socialist, but maybe closer to like a Nordic socialist. Not perfect, but way ahead, better than some other countries. Maybe a country that I used to have a flag of behind my head here. So politics is staying. But even then, no debates. No debates, nothing like that. I never did debates, I never planned to do debates. Don't even really enjoy watching them as much anymore. It's just makes my anxiety go crazy. And I would be dog shit around a debate, because I would just resort to pointing and screaming. I don't see the point of it. It doesn't help anyone. Prefer to have a good night's sleep. But what is going is drama. Now, I myself have tried, for the most part, kept distance from a lot of drama between other groups, and sometimes even other groups beyond that. A lot of different fires from a lot of different people, and I don't want any of it. And I'll explain why. I am tired. I don't have the energy for it anymore. I don't care about these hour-long, day-long, he said, she said bullshit that only 5 years prior the person pointing fingers would have laughed at seeing another person do. I am watching communities die and reform only to attack each other again. And the weirdest thing is, I could even agree with them. I could even think that, yeah, you're making a good point. I don't give a fuck, leave me alone. I didn't bring you here to talk about drama. I didn't bring you here to shit on someone who's not here. Or to hear your side of the story. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I am almost 37. I have a bad back. I want to spend my time on the internet laughing and learning cool facts and looking at food I can't eat and playing video games I'm shit at and hopefully finding a girl through it all just to pair it all with. And a few more friends too. Ideally that girl being one of them. And I'm not here to make money. And clout is almost like, oh yeah, I've talked to this name and that name. Whatever. Like, I'm not here to sell merch. I'm here as a hobby. And but here's the thing. If I bring someone on who's in the middle of a goddamn war between someone else, I'm bringing them on because I enjoy their company. I like the cut of their jib. I do not give a fuck if they're in the middle of the trenches fighting somebody. Someone that I might even know. And that goes for the same. I might have someone on next week. Now I've got my preferences. And there are people out there who I just won't have on. I'm obviously not going to name names, defeats the purpose of not stirring shit, but there's people I don't want to have on. But I'm so not in the mood for this bullshit. Because, in a few years, half the people in question will turn on the other half. Because it's already happened and always will happen. That's how this shit goes. The weirdest thing is so many people involved in these fights, from so many different angles, know better. Some have to deal with it really, really heavily. Stalkers, court cases, all that stuff. Okay, that's fine, and I wish you well, but I don't need to be involved in that. I want to talk to you about A or B or C or D. Not what this J, or dare I say even Q, stuff way down there. I'm just here to have a good time, to laugh until my sides hurt, or go, I never knew that. Now, the other end of the spectrum is the lolcows. I have always relied on lolcows for my time from DP, which I wouldn't be here without DP. I would watch lolcows whenever I couldn't think of anything better to watch. And I've had some great memories from them. And they're not going away completely. But rather what's going to happen is, it's like a threat level, you know? Take Cobes, for example. Cobes making the same 50 videos about how, he's done and it's a rant, or, fuck Jessica, or drink combo. It's the same shit. Has been for a long time. But if he then turns around and goes like, I'm here at my dad's place because I set fire to it, but you all saw it on the stream last night, I'd be like, I have to find that footage. That is something I gotta see. Chris Chan winning the lottery. Cyrax finally getting arrested for good. Jared trying to beat up somebody only to get floored. Name your lol cow. It has to be that level of extreme for me to be interested. Now, we'll look at weirdos. I am a weirdo. I mean, look at the state of me. But I find it lazy, and sometimes, I won't lie, it's punching down. I don't want to do that anymore either. I want to find something new and wholesome. And ideally copyright free. Which is why I'm going to be creating more of my own content. Like, when I get a new desk, I want to go and show it being filmed. When I promised last year I'd get into Legos. Alright, let's get a bog standard tiny little Lego thing to build. And after I build it, I'll put it up in a place of honour and then start on something more complicated. I want to show progression on... I want to do more cooking videos of my own. Which, after you guys see me cook, they'll be like, oh, you don't really know what the fuck you're doing at all, are you? And I'm like, no, but I love doing it. So I have to make you guys the homemade pizzas that are on the giant ciabattas. There's a thumbnail. She looks more like I'm wielding a shotgun here. You need both hands. There we are. There. See what I do for you guys? I give you content. So, I'm going to be experimenting this year a lot. Bringing up old ideas. Like I said, construction, movie, video, reviews. Maybe I'll get back into finishing those Indiana Jones things that I made. And I'll also be doing more stuff offline as well. Diet and exercise is one thing. Fixing up the apartment is another. Got an audiobook open right here, paused. And I've got a TV show ready to go. But after a while, I'll want to get out and about. I might even, by the end of the year, if the whole goddamn stars align, I might do something crazy. Like get a bike. Or even join the gym. Jesus. There's a thought, huh? But just because things are changing doesn't mean I'm going anywhere. I'm still the sloppy, pervy glutton, even if I am going to be increasingly a little less gluttonous, that I've always been. I'll be the history nerd, the autist of maps. Grand strategy games for days. I want to talk nerd shit with you guys. I want to be pumped for a new game. I want to do more co-op. I know once upon a time I said it, but you know what? I've already got 2 people lined up who want to mess around with a game when the time comes. And you'll see it with me. But for that, I need to improve my rig. And for that, I need to do better with my money. And buckle down and save. And while I'm buckling down, why don't I lose a few pounds? Why don't I work on my back? I already cleaned up my closet. What else can I do? So yeah. This is why I'm saying I've got good hopes for this year. Because I've got, like, so many things I can do. And I'm going to do them. And some of which you'll see them, some of which you won't. But if you don't like the sound of what I'm describing, that's fair. You may have not come here for that. In which case, stick around or go. As always. You're your own agent. But I'll be here. Doing me. Because at the end of the day, it's the one thing you can be guaranteed on, that you're yourself. Unless the voices win out. In which case, well, they better be the fun voices. And on that morbid note, I'm going to keep this video up for 1 year. And then at the end of it, last few days before 2026 rolls around, go down to the description and you should see a link. There, see, I've already got a project for the year. And it will just be a link to a video where I will describe what the year was in hindsight. A retrospective. So, that's it. Buckle up, kids. We going places. Except, ironically enough, we're not. Ooh. Why do I always do that with the ghost voice? Ooh. There. Sad football hooligan. I should get a dog.